The 2025 is all about collecting back pocket residencies. And when I say back pocket, it really means, I mean, you can keep it in your front pocket, but what I mean to say is they are flexible residencies which don't require physical presence in the country. So you got to enter the country once or twice and you can pretty much maintain this permanent residency. What I really like to focus on is permanent residencies because people like the term permanent. It does mean something. So in this video, I'm going to discuss 5 options that you should closely consider for 2025 if you're looking to, let's say, you want to have flexible option, right? So you're busy, you're committed to doing certain things in your life. Maybe you have new 2025 resolutions, right? You're focusing on them. They require you to physically stay where you are at this point in time, or let's say you're physically moving to countries which is your plan A. You want the prime nationality from there. They want you to physically be committed to that jurisdiction, and in your free time, right in the background rather, I should say, that's where the back pocket comes into picture. Nothing illegal, nothing wrong. It's just a term. It's a coined term which means flexible residencies. These countries don't expect you to be there full time, right? They just want you to come there and spend your money. So I'm going to discuss 5 very interesting options. This is one of the top topics that comes up on my discussions with my clients. They are constantly looking for these options. The first on the list comes from the Middle East, right? The Gulf region. It's the residency of Oman. And Oman, there's a couple of ways. It's a lifelong residency. Once you get your investment in place, once you set up your structure, it is indefinitely renewable in 2 to 3 year intervals. You can keep renewing this for you and your family. And the couple of ways of getting Oman is, one, you do a property investment, any kind of property, a beautiful property by the airport, by the ocean side. It's a quiet, a safe, and a beautiful country to spend your time in. You buy this property and then you have this back pocket residency in definitely renewable. The cheaper way of striking Oman, I mean, the property is also, it's kind of not expensive, right? It's a cheap property, let's say 125, 150K USD. You can rent it out, you can occupy it. It's not a lot of money. It's not donation. It's your own property. So you're just diversifying your funds. The people who aren't ready to buy a property in Oman, they can simply set up a business. Through your business, you can set up the same benefit. So this is a unique, tucked in, hidden gem in the Gulf region. So the second on the list is South Africa, one of my personal favorites and a favorite for a lot of people in 2025. The beauty of South Africa is that this is dateless. So no renewals, right? Once done and good for life. The only caveat is that you got to physically enter the country once every 3 years, right? So in 3 years, you got to have one entry. They're happy. You can pretty much keep this in your back pocket. You can utilize it the way you want. If the times are bad, you need a plan B, getaway or escape or whatever you may call it. Not for the wrong reasons, but just, you want to be left alone. You want to go somewhere. You don't want to be bothered. Then, and people are bothering you, the evil forces are bothering you, then you have South Africa as your jurisdiction. Good luck with anyone trying to locate you in South Africa. There's a lot of beautiful places where you could be. Beautiful, beautiful country. A definite plan B country. So South Africa, there's a donation component. There are 2 ways of getting South Africa. A lot of people don't know the second way. And first one is straightforward. You give them a donation of $6,800. Couple of the factors in play, and then that's it. You only give this donation once you get the approval certificate. You'll have to land once, activate your approval certificate, and you're all set. So that's one way. The second way is, let's say you have income, but it's through your own business. You're structuring this correctly. Let's say this is a passive, you're showing this as a passive investment through dividends, and this has to be structured correctly, right? It has to be obviously submitted to the agencies to a review. So to make sure you're working with a good attorney, and we have one of the best attorneys who's helping our clients with the entire South African program at any point in time, right? Any of these residencies that I'm talking about, we have attorneys in all these places. You can always click a link, book a call. We can discuss the best one and immediately get you started. So let's continue with this one, right? So this is the passive one through dividend setup. and monthly is a nominal amount of 2,500. I think most people who have a legit ongoing business earn more than that. So you have two ways of getting into South Africa: permanent residency, an exclusive VIP type of permanent residency. I'm surprised just because of the safety, right, situation. People overlook South Africa, but the government might soon realize that the volumes are increasing for South Africa. So I personally I don't know how long this program lasts, but this is one of the best programs to look at this point in time. The third on the list is Panama, which is exactly like South Africa, but this one obviously is in Latin Americas. With Panama, there's so many beautiful options. You have a back pocket passport, which is not tied to citizenship. Then you have a back pocket lifelong permanent residency. These are two of my favorite programs, right? So for the back pocket passport, this is not based on citizenship. This can be obtained immediately in a couple of weeks once you strike the temporary residency. All this needs is a passive income of $850 from Panama. You create a fixed deposit, you strike this balance, and it's your money. No, this is no donation. And of course, they give you the passport for travel purposes. Let's say you're doing a CBI citizenship. You don't want to expose the CBI citizenship. You want to get another passport from from a natural jurisdiction which does not do a CBI. So you tag a travel passport on top of that. You're layering these things, and this is not for everyone. This is for the extreme savvy folks or the extremely rich and successful folks who need some layer of protection when they're traveling and stuff like that. That's a different client base altogether. So if you are interested in this one, we have 3 attorneys in Panama who specialize in different programs. The typical one for the masses would be the VIP permanent residency in 30 days in Panama. And this obviously doesn't come with a passport. This, you will get the passport eventually once you become a Panamanian national. But till then, the way to strike this is through property purchase of 300K in Panama. You can just buy the property anywhere, and it's hot in demand. You can sell it whenever you want. You can, of course, I mean, you got to keep the property for a certain time to get the benefit, right? But again, in future, you can sell that off, but you can rent it, you can occupy it. It uses US dollars as the main currency. So it's a beautiful jurisdiction. You cannot go wrong with Panama. The fourth one on the list is everyone's favorite, is the Mexican permanent residency. There is the temporary version as well if you don't qualify for permanent. Permanent has a couple of criteria, but the two of the main things to keep in mind with the permanent residency in Mexico is that either you need to have a bank balance of approximately 295K USD for the last 12, or your monthly income is crossing $7,500, qualifying income, of course. So if you have this, then you can directly get the permanent. If you're falling short of this, then of course there's the temporary. A citizenship in either case will happen at the same time, so there's nothing to lose. These both, right, the temporary version or the permanent version, are back pocket residencies, meaning they are flexible residencies. And there's no minimum physical presence commitment here. I'm going to discuss one other back pocket residencies, then I'm going to throw a bonus. It's going to be 6 permanent residencies here. The fifth one on the list is Paraguay, of course. It's a complete back pocket residency with a couple of unique advantages. One is the territorial taxation, right? So that's all obviously a neat benefit. The 9% taxes are quite low, so it matches up with what Dubai has introduced. So you can't go wrong with this as a back pocket option. So whenever you need to switch tax jurisdictions, you can always exercise your rights. In Paraguay, you can become a tax resident legally, and then you can structure this. And none of this is immigration advice. I'm just giving you educational content, some information, right, about these options. And the sixth bonus here is, again, we go back to Africa, and it is Mauritius. It's a lifelong, indefinitely renewable permanent residencies. 2 ways of getting this. One is either you open up a business bank account, and our attorneys open up this business bank account for you. You just have to sign up for the process. Once the bank account is open, you deposit $50,000. It's your money. This is not donation. You can diversify this as you want. If you don't want to do anything with it, create a fixed deposit on some passive income, and that could be your business activity. The other way of qualifying is direct qualification based on your age. If you're over a certain age limit, then you directly get this permanent residency. It's a 10-year issuance in this case, indefinitely renewable. And of course, Mauritius, it does lead to citizenship if you desire to get that passport. It's a very unique passport. If someone sees you with a Mauritian passport, the class is at a different level. it's very different. Even the South African passport is a very natural passport. So yes, you might buy a CBI and think, okay, you have a dual citizenship, but you have to ask yourself, is it a real citizenship? Is it a meaningful citizenship? If someone sees you, is it a respectable citizenship? If your answer to all those questions is no, then you need something natural. You need a Mexico, you need a South Africa, you need a Mauritius, you need something real, something genuine, something that people know of, right? So let's say you come from South Africa, people are going to be, okay, he's a South African, fine, must have naturalized, or must be, based on how you look, must be either from there, or you must have naturalized, whatever, right? So that's where these citizenships are so important in the long term. So yes, in the immediate, you might panic, you might buy some crap, trash. The trash is okay in the interim, not wasting your money. Of course, I mean, it's the way you look at it, but eventually you want the real stuff. You want the meat. And before you go, if you aren't subscribed to the channel, make sure to hit the bell notification and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest developments, breaking news. There was a breaking news about Panama, right? It joined Mercosur, and this is one of the most attractive passports to get or to start targeting in 2025. If you've missed that video, you can return and take a look at this one. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, make sure you're subbed, and catch you in the next one.